Anyone else coming in? No? Well, if they're late, they can take the attendance again, just going to confirm. Wonderful. Okay, can I have your attention? If you have your headphones on, please remove them. Thank you. That is also part of professionalism. We will begin with a little bit of recap. You have another professor called Professor Ann, and she taught you, I would say, session 1 on product. I will continue with product, but this time you will work on the case study part, or rather group effort. There are 2 parts to that. First is your lecture, that was Kurs Magistral online. Then there are 2 sessions, either with me or with Professor Ann, where we give you work to do. And in the second, or rather I would say the 3rd session, you present your research and findings, all right? But that being said, I'll just show that to you here. Can you log into your DVO, DaVinci Online, go to session on product and download these 2 files. Session 1 files, this is basically your slides, or your PDF or your slides. And the second one is the work that you will do today, all right? And I'll explain all of those things. Please kindly download them. And you will be working in the groups that you have formed. If you have not formed your groups, it's not a problem. You can form them today, all right? So kindly download them while I explain what you have to do for today. Now, just to go back a bit, as per the interesting element that Professor Ann had mentioned, all your courses are divided into 3 parts. You did product, then you will do, after the lecture, you'll work with either me or Professor Ann on research, gathering insights, collaboration with your group members. The session after that, when you meet me or Professor Ann, you will present your findings. The presentation that you will give will be between 5 to 6 minutes. It will be an informal presentation, but in front of the class, all right? Why in front of the class? So everyone can learn how you are researching as well. But you're not going to be graded. There will be a grade on informal presentations, all right? However, the company that you select, all the things you work on, product, price, promotion, place, right till the end, you will combine all of those things that you did for one final presentation. So what's the point of doing all of this? Well, you come to school, you pay 900 to 1,000 euros per class, and you want to listen to a PowerPoint slide? Well, no, of course not. This is why we are here. We're here to coach you. Business coaching is more important than lecturing. Lecture, you can go to YouTube and there are tons of people who give lectures, but nobody gives you coaching. So when you have time with us, take advantage, talk to us. Talk to me, come to me and say, sir, I have a question, I'm not sure. What can we do better? This is my job, all right? So that being said, just to explain what you were supposed to do, if you have not made your teams, you can make a team of 4 to 6 people. Exceptionally, I will take 3 people in a group. I don't want 3 people in a group because it's going to be a lot of work. But 4 people to 6 people is ideal, not 7 people, all right? Then you can just make a football team just like the recent history has been made in FIFA, 25 to 28 members traveling to Qatar. No, that's not what we want, all right? And you have to select a company, any company of choice, but I will give you some recommendations if you find it difficult, but we'll come to that. However, don't worry too much. I'll just give you a brief introduction about myself. My name is Baber Mirza, and if you're curious where I'm from Pakistan. I've been here for 12 years. I'm a French national now, but my French is not the best. It's not fluent, but I get by. I can go to the dentist. I can go to the, La Banque Postale. I can order a baguette. And if I forget if it's une, I just say deux baguettes. C'est simple. But I grew up in Singapore, if you're curious about my accent. So I don't have a Pakistani or Indian accent, right? However, if you're curious about other things about me, I've done a bachelor's in information technology. That's a business and information technology and an MBA in marketing. My background is quite diverse in the sense that I've done software development when I was your age, meaning when I was in school, I joined a software house. Well, that helped me pay off for my tuitions. I also did marketing because they promoted me to marketing. They thought I was good with clients. When I started my actual career, I joined banking, but not commercial banking. I was in credit risk and policy management. The last year in banking back home in Pakistan, I did an anti-money laundering because I'm very curious. I like to investigate things. Coming to France, I gave up my 9 to 5 job and I became a business lecturer for good. That is my full-time job I teach in different schools. But I also do consultancy on the side. And as something to give back to society from time to time, I coach my students for free, but not everyone, okay? Only 1 or 2 students per semester. I take them on as giving back to society. I help them either with their entrepreneurial projects or maybe career development. But that too is through a selection process. I don't select everyone. However, I also have hobbies. I love playing video games, but I don't play FIFA. Please don't ask me to add you to PSN. And I have 3 children at home who drive me nuts. All right. Sorry to insult people who play FIFA. I know it's quite an interesting game for you, but I don't consider it a game at all. It has too many bugs. And heck, even their final tournament, they had to play it offline. That's sad. Anyways, if you're curious and if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn and not on Instagram, if you add me on Instagram, I probably won't follow you back. You can see my picture over there. That's my Instagram picture. I look really handsome. I drew that, by the way. You can look for me on Instagram. Just write Baber Mirza and EMLV, and my profile will pop up. As business students, I highly recommend to build your personal brand, and that starts with LinkedIn. All right. Many students don't realize this. Even in first year, you should have a LinkedIn profile. You say, oh, I have nothing to do. I have nothing to show. Yes, you do. And I've helped so many students find jobs through LinkedIn. One of my biggest achievement is when one of this girl from Tunisia, she was in the school and the corporate relations manager in the school, she went to her and said, my dream job is to work at Chanel. And the relationship manager, you know what she said to her? Keep dreaming. And she was very hurt. And she came to me, she said that to me. I said, all right, let's give ourselves 6 months to get an internship or a part-time job at Chanel. And I don't mean working at Chanel's retail outlet. I mean a real internship and a job. I helped her build a LinkedIn profile. I told her all the techniques what to do. I helped her market herself. And then it happened. So, well, if I can look up her name, maybe I'll try. Rania Ben Ahmed. Chanel LinkedIn. Because I'm not logged in over here. Oh, that's program manager. She's now working at Microsoft. Obviously, if you have to log in to check her picture out. And she's like, I can't believe it. How does it happen? I said, anything is possible if you market yourself right. But then she quit Chanel. She quit Chanel. And I said, why did you quit Chanel? She's like, it was my dream job, but when I worked there, it was just a fantasy. It wasn't as good as I felt it was. And then she jumped into, Microsoft IT, which is my field. I'm like, hey, welcome to my industry. And she enjoys it, and good for her. But let me just tell you, having LinkedIn and building a personal brand is a very powerful tool. And nowadays, everyone wants to do this, find a job, find a career, and they can't get an opportunity. You build an opportunity as well. That being said, connect with anyone you want online, that's your choice. But when you have downloaded the case study for today, well, what you have to work on, I will explain a few things. As per the documentation over here, you were supposed to watch a TED Talk about the golden circle. If you have not watched it, you can watch it later, not a problem, all right? But I can explain the golden circle to you. On top of that, you're going to research the company you select. Now, when you select a company, you will also have to research their products and services. My recommendation, you don't have to take it, but it's my recommendation, find a company with a small portfolio. Let's say, for example, Tesla. How many products does Tesla sell? Well, maybe 3, sports car, SUV, and a regular sedan. 3 of them, easy to analyze. You're doing a class assignment. Don't work on something too big. That is my recommendation. You can go for, like, say, a brand like Jacques Mousse. He usually does handbags, or it's a small portfolio. Twitter, same thing. You can go for apps or whatsoever, but try to focus on smaller portfolio companies. It's easier. Number two, focus on companies that you can find data available. So if you go for a company, make sure if they're public or they have a public IPO, it's easier to find information in the news as well. So let's say, for example, Twitter is a public limited company. You can find information about it. Or you can even take a French company and see if it's on the CAC 40, the CAC 40. Bless you. So coming back over here, your task for today is to do 5 things. When you will do the research on these 5 things, the next time we see you, you will present your findings in a PowerPoint presentation, all right? 5 to 7 minutes in front of the class, informally. It doesn't have to be rehearsed. We just want to see what you have to show, all right? And the teacher, either me or Professor N, would provide feedback and criticism and how to improve yourself. But that does not mean you can't reach out to us. You can ask us questions anytime, all right? So the first thing is, you have to do the golden circle about the company. What is the golden circle? All right, make life easier for all of you. And I don't have any product on me at the moment that I could show you, but I'll explain. The golden circle is very similar to marketing's concept of value proposition. Now hold on a minute, just let me explain what is marketing. Most students, including business people, don't know what is marketing. They think marketing is selling a product through advertising. Look up the definition of marketing. These 3 things are not mentioned. In marketing, if you're very good at it, you don't have to sell anything. How many of you have an iPhone? Okay, those of you who have an iPhone, keep your hands up. Did you have an iPhone before this version? Did you have an iPhone before that version? Did you have an iPhone before that version? And before? And before? Well, hold on a minute. Let's not stop yet. Hold on. Did Apple come to you and knock on your door? Please buy an iPhone. I have to feed my family. Or did you go to the Apple store? Or did you make a request during Christmas? I want an iPhone. When you went and made that effort, that's called a purchase, not a sale. Marketing eliminates the effort of sales. People come to you to buy. It's a pull style management, not a push style management. Number 2, advertising. Right? There are many cases for advertising, but the biggest one is Body Shop. Have you seen an advertisement of Body Shop? You'll never see it because they don't advertise at all. They use word of mouth. They started by selling their cosmetics with a label on their box saying, "We do not test on animals." Guess what happened? Young ladies and females all over the world were enamored by the fact that these guys are so careful about not hurting animals. And most young girls might have a pet like a small dog, a cat, a hamster, a rabbit. They fell in love with the brand. So you don't need advertising, you don't need sales. But product-wise, there's a philosophy behind it. Most of you probably drink coffee, and there's a coffee machine downstairs, right? What do? You make an effort, you go down to the foyer or the cafeteria, you wait in line, you put in 60 cents, or you use a debit card, you wait for the machine to pour you coffee, you take your coffee, you walk out with your friends, you grab a cigarette, you drink your coffee, and you throw it away. Is the coffee a product or a service? Think carefully. Sorry, is it? I don't disagree. It is a product you consumed and you threw away, but you also served it. However, that's only a part of your entire experience. You going out of your way to make an effort to stand in line, to buy coffee, consume it with your social circle, and then you do this again and again. That is an experience. Yes, that experience is trivial, but people go to Starbucks. Starbucks doesn't give you coffee, or it gives you an environment, or an experience. They say, we don't serve you coffee, we serve you the best caffeine experience. There's 16,000 combinations. People say, so what? The major consumers of Starbucks coffee are young Caucasian girls between the ages of 16 to 25. What do they do? What do they drink the most? Decaffeinated, that's not coffee. Soya-based milk installed in an Americano with stevia, which is fake sugar. Iced, that's basically coffee flavored milkshake, but that's not coffee. and then they take a picture of the name they have on their mug, and they put it on Instagram and say, with my morning cup of Joe. That is also part of the experience. I'll give you another example. Products do exist, service do exist, but it's the experience that wins. I have a, what do you call it, Android phone. I'm not into the Apple game, and I will never be. But I explain to my students how people behave is part of an experience. I have an Android. How do people with an Android walk? Like this. They put their phone in their pocket and they go out for a walk, right? And they meet their friends and, hey, how are you? And this was proven in class twice, in today as well. People with an iPhone, how do they walk? They hold it in their hands and they walk out, talk to people. And most of the people who have an iPhone, can you check if you have an iPhone? Do you have a cover or shield that is transparent so we can see the logo? And if you have a translucent cover, it might have the Apple logo on it. I rest my case. Can I see people? Oh yeah, there we go. Now you have it, right? But why did you get the transparent one? There we go. Apple, when it launches its colors, it's like a car. They specifically have a color for that period. iPhone 13 was green, emerald green color was famous, right? They don't call it green, they call it emerald. Oh my God, like they're selling nail polish. Do you have that one? Oh, that color. Now here's something. Shh, pay attention. People with an iPhone or MacBook didn't get an iPhone or MacBook because they're great products. They are not the best out there. However, Apple never mentions anything about being great. They say, we want to design products that gives people who do not like technology to have an interesting experience using technology. Technology is difficult. It's not easy. I talk to so many people that say, why do you get a MacBook? Oh, it's easier to use. I say, I swear to God, that's a dumb answer. But we as marketers go to the psyche of the consumer, the subconscious. People are scared of technology. So they say, I want something simple with one button. Even a MacBook and a Windows computer are not that different, but it's the mentality. The experience they get from constantly using Apple products, I agree. It's easy because you need one Apple ID to manage your iPhone, your MacBook, your iPad, and maybe your iTunes or whatsoever. Makes it easy. That is what the experience is. So let me go back to what I have to say for the golden circle. Let's talk about coffee. Columbus coffee, Costa coffee, Nespresso. What do they make? They make coffee beans. So what? What's the big deal? Anyone can make coffee. How do they get coffee? They, pay attention. They source coffee maybe from Colombia, Ethiopia, Brazil. So anybody can do that. I'll have to call my brother back. Here's the thing. It's the why. When people are sure of a solution they need, they'll go to that person. For example, if I am sick, who do I go to? Should I go to my mother or should I go to the doctor? Hold on, let me repeat. If I am sick, who should I go to? To my mother or to my doctor? I like the answer, it depends, because some people will go to their mothers. Mom, can you make me some chicken soup? Mom, I'm not feeling well. And there are people like me who have to go to the doctor, right? Now try this again. Shh, pay attention. Come in. In marketing, pay attention. In marketing, we, good marketers, create solutions for problems. Bad marketers create solutions when there's no problem. For example, all of you had lunch?
Yes.
Do you want to have another lunch? But I'm going to give you food for free, no problem. But you think, no, thank you, I don't want it. This is the difference between a good marketer. Good marketer says, I know when you will be hungry, you will select me. McDonald's, what do? They give you an app and a website. So you can order online the moment you feel hungry. That's what they did, but the food is not that delicious. They know why they exist, for convenience and consistency. Starbucks is the same. Starbucks says, I know people don't drink coffee at my place, but they come to buy coffee for the experience I will serve. They're not solving a problem of caffeine deficiency. They're solving a problem of social status, ego, or whatever you want to call it. People who buy a Starbucks coffee buy a big glass and then they walk around with it. My American students, they come to class with a plastic transparent coffee cup from Starbucks. And I said, why don't you throw it away? No, I like to fill it with water. And you bring it to school. Yeah. Why? Oh, it looks nice. I'm like, you are something, right? That's the whole point. They want to tell other people that I go to Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks person. Or like at home, people, let's say, all of you watch probably football, but there's this team called PSG, right? People are crazy about Paris Saint-Germain. They buy their jerseys. And they buy their jerseys and they are valuable to people. Even my friend, he came from the US and he bought a PSG jersey for his son. I'm like, why are you buying it? You've never seen them play. Yeah, but Mbappe, he's in PSG. And I'm like, so what? Mbappe is not from Paris Saint-Germain. He's from Bondy. Neymar is from Brazil. Messi is from Argentina. What the hell are they doing in PSG? Well, they're solving a problem. They're solving a problem. People want to see them play together. That's what people pay the ticket for. If you understand why key companies exist, you are solving problems with the only person who can solve it better than the competition, you win. And I don't have to state this. Look at Apple. Apple never say we make the best computers. They make aesthetically appealing, sexy products. Jonathan Ive, the ex-head designer at Apple, used to follow Dieter Ram's philosophy, designing beautiful products. And that made all the difference. Older computers were, laptops were black like IBM. Computers were beige, ugly. But MacBooks or the big G3000s were beautiful to look at. That made all the difference. So companies can do all of this, but great organizations know why they exist, what problem exactly they're solving. Sometimes in marketing, you don't solve a functional problem. You solve a problem that is maybe spiritual, egotistical, social. Maybe you solve the problem of anxiety. People drink coffee in France. How do they drink coffee? They stand outside with their friends and take a cigarette. Maybe they're not even smoking. They're doing what we call tripoter, but it's a social thing. In America, they drink coffee all throughout the day in a big glass because it's a social norm. In some countries, they drink coffee to actually wake up for energy. So one item can solve multiple problems. If you understand this, remember, some companies that you might select may not understand why they exist, and therefore they may not be a great brand. So be very careful in this section, okay? When you do the golden circle. I would recommend you watch the video before attempting this. Yes, dear.
In an organization, is possible to have many why?
No. If you have too many whys, you don't understand what your solution is. I'll give you an example. Samsung does not know what it's doing. Samsung, when it was competing with iPhone, they took out Galaxy Note, but then they have Galaxy Y. Then they have the Samsung A series. Then they have the Samsung Y series. They make so many phones and people are like, you know what, I'll just buy an iPhone. So what are you solving? They make a folded phone. Does iPhone have a folded phone? No, it doesn't need one. Why? They're saying, exactly. People who buy a phone, they don't want a folded version. Even though Samsung is offering it, they're like, but I don't want it. Just make me a nice phone. I say, yeah, but look, it folds. It gets bigger. Okay, so when you have too many solutions, people might not accept it. Give you an example of the kebab restaurant. How many of you eat kebab? You go and eat the kebab. What does he offer? Everything, right? He can give you pizza, calzone. They can give you a wrap, French wrap. He can give you a, what they call doner kebab. He can give you a Hummer sandwich. He can give you fried chicken. And you're like, what's your specialty? I do everything. And you're like, I'm confused. I don't know what to eat. I'll go to McDonald's. McDonald's only gives you three things: fish, beef, and chicken. And they say for each one, we have modified the burger slightly, but it's the same thing. It's simple. The menu is very, very small. And people accept that. So keep your why very narrow. If the why is very big, you can recommend that they narrow it down. This is what Steve Jobs did when he was fired. And when he came back to Apple, he said, I'm going to shave off the portfolio and offer very simple, unique products. They were selling everything. Like, no, We'll sell few things and make them interesting. Good question. Any other questions? No? All right, let's move ahead. Just to explain this to you, part 2. Pay attention, heads up. Part 2, regarding the product policy decisions, you are going to show me a representation of their product mix, which looks like this. This is the second part that you have to do. So you find a company, let's you find Tesla. We can say Tesla's sports division, sedan, Tesla's truck division, Tesla's services. That's fine, right? So this is what I want to see in part 2. Part 3, different types of customers. Let me explain very quickly. This is your analysis. So I would like to see maybe 3, 4 types of customers. How many customers does McDonald's have? Well, in my mind, in my analysis, in France, McDonald's has 5 customers. Children who buy Happy Meal, right? Number 2, people who have a very low income buy the McFirst menu, which is value meal. Number 3, families who eat out at McDonald's. Number 4, people who do emporter for football. They have a football menu from time to time when there's UEFA, Euro Cup or whatsoever. And number 5, young generation Z people who also take emporter or eat there during lunchtime. This is my observation. 5 type of customers all eating the same product. That is possible, right? Say with Apple iPhone, there can be different types of customers. They can be people like you who probably use it more for photography. They can be older generation people, seniors, who use it for FaceTime more. They can be children who probably use it for PUBG. Absolutely normal. But usage and consideration, marketing promotions are different. Is this clear? Any questions? Don't hesitate to ask, okay? Number 4, for number 4, you're going to take one product. I recommend choosing the flagship product. Like say Hermes or Hermes. Their flagship is the Jane Birkin bag, right? Or, I don't know, does Nike or Adidas Predator shoes, maybe for football. That could be a flagship. Let's say, for example, in a Toyota Corolla, the Corolla edition could be a flagship product. So take one and analyze it in this view. Here we go. I don't have a coffee cup, so imagine I'm holding a coffee cup. When I go to Starbucks, the actual thing that I'm getting from that could depend on the value I've gone for it. Do I want caffeine, an energy boost? Do I want a social status? Whatever I want, that coffee is offering me, the basic level. The actual product is Starbucks brand name, the flavor, or whatsoever it's offering. Well, maybe Starbucks Frappuccinos. Augmented product could be like Pret a Manger. Pret a Manger has a subscription model. Pay 30 euros per month, and daily you can get up to 4 coffees. That's also part of the augmented product, right? That's a different type of option. Same coffee, 4 times a day, priced at a monthly subscription. Communicated product could mean image. Pret a Manger is a British company. Yeah, surprise, it's not French. It's a British company focusing mostly on sandwiches and tea and soup. But its image is of somewhat premium food. It's a sandwichery, but premium food, organic food, because of the name, the way it's designed, way it projects itself, that is okay. All right? Clear? Any questions? So when you analyze one product, give me 4 levels of the product: communicated, augmented, actual, and core. Clear? Any questions? Cool. Last one. Now, my recommendation today, when you're together to work, is to work on section 1 and section 5, because you can sit down together and brainstorm. You will try to make a recommendation for a new product or a new service. Now, take, for example, Nike. Nike is a sportswear company, right? Is it a tech company? Is it in technology? Who says yes? Very good. They make an application. They also do shoe tracking, and they make recommendations to athletes. Yes, they're a tech company. Is Starbucks a fintech company? Yes, it is. They're doing something new. They're asking you to load money called Starbucks money or Starbucks itself into their account. When you go there, you redeem it. They take that cash from you and invest in the stock market. Oh, that is possible too. Let's track another company that could be quite bizarre for all of you. I wouldn't say Zara whatsoever. Let's take a company that you can offer something. I don't know. Let's say Facebook. What type of company is Facebook? It's a social media network, or is it an advertising agency? It's both. It's a social media network. People sign up for it just to see ads. Even the posts that are organic are considered advertising. So you can make different types of recommendations. I would recommend you do these two things. Work on the golden circle today and ask for my advice and brainstorm any interesting idea. For the other things that you can work on back when you go together, maybe see each other next time, when I see you again or when the other teacher sees you next, you will do the presentations. What I will do is put up instructions for all of you tonight, maybe, what I want to see the next time in terms of presentation. Informal presentation, 1 or 2 people come up and present whatever the findings are in 5 to 7 minutes. Try to speed it up because there are too many people in the classroom. And then we will give our feedback and criticism. Is this clear, my friends? Any questions? Okay. Now, if you want to continue working as a team outside the classroom, do me a favor, log into Zoom just in case. All right. If you need any questions, I'm right here because it's getting quite humid and stuffy in the room and it gets quite noisy. If you wish to leave, let me know and you can work outside. But once you're done, I'll probably, just say goodbye to you and I'll sign out from here. The choice is yours, my friends. All right. All right. Good luck, everyone. Bless you. So, I mean, basically the group you're making is a